Good morning. I'm here with my brother-in-law Tanner, who is looking to start the journey of auto detailing as a side hustle. I've been doing detailing for the last few years, thin blue line car detail, and he reached out to me asking for some training. I don't offer training to anybody. I don't solicit as a trainer, but he wanted some help, so I'm just going through the processes with him and teaching him what I know. So we have his mom's Hyundai Elantra here that I actually did a paint correction and ceramic coating on about a year ago. The paint was pretty good. It was ceramic coated. Unfortunately, the vehicle was let go, not taken care of properly, so we are kind of starting over. We're going to start the process like we would with any vehicle cleaning. He remembers some of the wash and prep steps. We can go through that, and then we're going to get to the correction side of things. So I think we're going to go one way of attempting to see if any of the coating is still there and seeing if we can save the coating, like if this was a normal annual ceramic coating maintenance detail. Somebody brought this to me and I attempted to save it, or if it's a complete reset. So sit back, watch the video, and we'll see what we can do with this Hyundai Elantra. As you can see, I'm going to assume that my mother-in-law has gone through a few car washes since I did this. You have some dog scratches, water spotting. So Tanner will be learning all the things: proper wash and prep, compounding and polishing, and even some wet sanding. So we're about to wash the car. What's the very first thing we have to do?
Wait, it's the wheels, right?
Yeah, but in order to clean the wheels, what do we got to do? We got to put water in the buckets.
Get the buckets ready.
I'm starting.
I thought that's, I thought that was pretty.
Some people it's not. As you can see, I'm a Shine Supply supporter. I have been for 4 or 5 years. I find them to be the best products that work best for me. I've used the other products, Griot's, Chemical Guys, Adams, Jack's Wax, all of those, but I just find that Shine Supply works best for me. So we have an array of Shine Supply products. What are we going to use to clean the wheels?
Wise Guy.
Okay, so
Cool Guy.
So Wise Guy is a wheel and tire cleaner. You can use this on just regular wheels and tires. It helps break down the gunk on the tires. You'll see it turn kind of like a brown. Cool Guy is meant as an iron decon for wheels. It's similar to Smooth Move. We'll go over Smooth Move later, but it's a bit thicker. So Cool Guy is recommended for ceramic coated wheels. If you do have ceramic coated wheels, I do not recommend using Wise Guy, because although it is a non-acidic wheel cleaner, it is a bit strong still, so it can break down the life of that coating on your wheels. So stick with Cool Guy if your wheels are ceramic coated. But for the sake of training in the video, we're going to do both wheel cleaners on this vehicle. And then this is solution. What would we use solution for if you're thinking about wheels or that area?
To clean it.
Would be solution I like to use on the wheel wells. So that helps break down the dirt and stuff in the wheel wells. You can use Wise Guy on the wheel wells, but if there's like an unprotected metal, like steel or something, it can cause some corrosion. So stick with solution. So you remember what this is diluted to?
1 to 1.
Yeah, so half and half. So Wise Guy, you dilute 1 to 1, so you fill it up, and these bottles show you one part Wise Guy or 1 part water, probably Wise Guy though, and then second part water. Cool Guy, you use straight. You just fill it up, use it. We're using Hot Shot, so because normally for ceramic coated car I'd use shift, but because we're doing a wash and prep type of deal on this car, we're going to use the cheaper soap. So just a couple ounces, eyeball it when it comes out. That's probably good. And then we need to fill up our foam cannon, but with our foam cannon we're gonna do something a little different. I gotta get in here. So remember when I told you that for prep soap, they make prep soaps and strip soaps, but Shine Supply doesn't. So I put a little bit of solution in. I don't know how much, I just eyeball it. This will help strip away any junk. I'd like to say it's not going to strip away the coating, but I don't even know if the coating is still on this cart after it.
Would it strip away the coating if it did?
No, I mean, no, not. Maybe if you did it straight and let it sit, but you should never do that. There should be no chemical that'll strip a good ceramic coating. And you don't want this like super foamy. And then actually I'm gonna put a little bit in here. Get your, I don't even think I turned it on yet. Go ahead and start with the wheels and get that wise guy and the cool guy. Spray the wise guy, and the solution.
Wise guy first, right?
Wise guy, yeah, do that on the tires. Let that chill, and then you can spray the cool guy on. And you can see how wise guy is turning the tire brown. It's breaking down all the junk. Go ahead and spray cool guy on there too. You can spray it all on
the
there.
Tires and wheels, or
Just the wheel. That's just for the wheels. Try to get it in the barrel inside the wheel too if you can. I know those wheels are kind of tight. Just kind of. Kind of a close-up of what is going on with the wheel. You can see the purple. That's the cool guy breaking down the iron and the gunk and the nasty on the wheel. The browning is a wise guy breaking down gunk on the tire. It's just a proper decontamination of the wheel. Find the somewhere in here. This is for the tires. I would use, I don't know if it'll fit in there, but you can try to use that for the barrel. And then this is good for like, if you get a brush like this, it's good for like getting in the lug nut. And you can just use, I use this for wheel wells, but you can just use this on her wheels too, because I don't think she cares. Because trying to clean each one of those individual things with that little lambskin thing is a pain in the butt. But you can if you want. So that's just a stiff bristle brush that he's using on the tire. You can get them from anywhere. I won't recommend a specific company or anything. It's just a stiffer bristle brush for the rubber. It's a softer flag tip brush for the wheels. There's also a lambskin like hand mitt in there, but it's pretty used. So I told him he can just use that. wheel wells. Oh, you don't have to scrub the wheel wells. Oh yeah, the barrel. I don't know if that'll fit. That probably won't either. Those are too tight. Just hopefully the chemical just broke it down enough. You can just spray it off. That brush that you got would probably fit in there. Well, I don't have that one yet. And I'll show you once the tire's dry later on. If you want a real super clean tire, like when I used to do like wheels off detail.
Is it shine supply thing?
No, it's the company's called Stoner. They have, but China Supply sells it. But you can find it at like AutoZone or it's basically a solvent. So not So the thing with your windshield, and I thought about it before I asked it to you, but with new cars like that, especially if they're like a cheaper like plastic on the dash like Honda uses, there's like the only way that would happen is if I just didn't wipe the chemical off.
Yeah.
Dude, her tires turn like instantly brown.
I know.
A lot of people, I've been asked a few times when they detail their cars, they're like, how often should I clean my wheels and tires? And I'm like, every time you clean your car.
It's
After the wheels, if you choose, you'll do a engine bay detail. Like when I do, if I'm doing something as extensive as this ceramic coating or a correction, I usually do the engine, just touch all the things. But it's usually you want to do it when the engine's cooler. I don't know if we should do this or not. I think it's cool enough. It's been sitting for what? At least an hour.
yeah.
So solution is a good thing because basically what you're gonna do is we use it on wheel wells, use it on the engine bay. If your car has like a open filter intake or something like this one, most of them are closed off like that. You want to cover that up or anything that's gonna. spray it on, doesn't have to be super heavy. And then it'll kind of self level or soak in, especially once if you start the carbon. Just kind of let it chill. All right, so yeah, next step, just a thorough rinse. There are videos that Tanner actually sent me the other day of people claiming that if you foam your car and then you just go mitt on car, you're ruining your car, and that's not the case. If you do a good rinse with just water, then you're not wasting product with soap. If the car is filthy or that's just what you like to do, then fine, but you don't have to do like a pre-foam type of situation. Soap's expensive, so I'm not wasting it, especially if you don't have to. So we're gonna rinse the car now and just get any kind of excess debris off of it. I don't know, it might still be there. It's like, help me! Alright, so now what?
Foam it.
Foam her down. So you can probably, this controls how much foam you're putting out, but so you want it, and then this is like your this is like how your angle. So probably like that's probably good. Yeah. Mine's kind of, that's old and worn, so I think my foam dispenser is kind of fucked up, but. Different scenario if you are doing this outside, but you want to let it just sit, kind of break down whatever it's going to break down, and then we need to agitate your soap bucket over here. Yeah, you just give this a few minutes to do its thing, but if you're outside, then obviously it's gonna dry a lot faster and you don't want that. All right, so is this the kind of wash pad that you got? Did you buy this one?
It's a different one.
Which one did you buy? The flat pack, the one with the 3?
Yeah, the flat.
So this is Microfiber Madness. It's just as good, but I like these ones more than the other ones. But so. Contact wash after letting the solution and soap sit for a bit. Again, this car was ceramic coated with a 2-year coating about a little over a year ago after it received a full paint correction, but you know, the owner, my mother-in-law, unfortunately with sprinklers hitting it and dog scratches and then just not necessarily caring for it properly. We'll see how the coating does after getting a wash and a decontamination. I don't think it's going to recover, and that's not a knock on the ceramic coating itself. It's just like I tell everybody that I put ceramic coatings on their vehicles. The lifespan of the coating is with proper care and maintenance, which did not occur with this vehicle.
The hood's definitely a lot slimy.
Yeah, and that might just be the solution breaking down junk that's on it. We'll see what it looks like once we rinse this off and then hit it with Smooth Move. And it's hard to really gauge a car when it's dirty. When's the last time she even washed her car?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna rinse it off. I'm gonna guess that the water behavior is gonna be the same, but who knows? So you can still see tiny little spots on the car where the coating might still be hanging on, but it's pretty far gone, or it's pretty contaminated. It's hard to tell right now until we put on the Smooth Move paint decontaminator to see where we're at. So now what?
Get the decon?
Yep. So Smooth Move, like I talked about earlier, is similar to Cool Guy in the fact that it breaks down iron and bonded contaminants, but this is a little bit more watery and it's intended for paint, not wheels. So you don't, for this, I would say you probably want more than normal, but if you're just doing a regular, like a maintenance, you don't have to go heavy, but I mean, because this car is really messed up, you want to kind of go heavy. It doesn't matter if it gets on the glass or plastic as long as you don't let it dry. But like I'm gonna go really heavy on the hood because it was pretty flat. It didn't show any hydrophobics or anything, but headlights, taillights, everything. So you just, and it smells just like the wheel cleaner because it has that same chemical in it. So just go around the whole car and spray it.
Do I need to put it on the glass too or no?
You can, it doesn't hurt. This is there's a chemical decontamination and a mechanical decontamination. This is the chemical decontamination because obviously we're using a chemical to decontaminate the paint, which means we are breaking down bonded contaminants like ferrous metals from brake dust, fallout, things like that. And then a mechanical decontamination is where after we're done letting the Smooth Move sit and do its thing, we will wash it again to get any of that junk off. You can just spray it, but I like to go back over it with a wash pad. And then we will see how the paint's doing at that point and how it feels, and if it needs it, mainly on the lower sections down here where a lot of stuff kicks up from the wheels is where you will then go in with a clay bar and remove any kind of stuff that did not come down with the chemical decontamination. So as you can tell so far, just getting a vehicle prepped for ceramic coating or a polish or paint correction or any type of protection really, because you want to do this even if you're applying a sealant, unless you have a budget-friendly option that is just a a wash and spray wax or spray seal. But as far as my process goes, you want to do this every time when you apply protection, because that's ensuring that you have the cleanest paint surface possible and ensuring that whatever protection you're putting on the paint is going to last as long as it's intended to.
Over with the wash pad.
Yeah. So we've allowed the Smooth Move paint decontaminator to sit for a few minutes, ideally like 3 to 5 minutes. Unless you're out in the weather, then you need to be more careful that it doesn't dry. But so now we're not foaming it again, but we are going over it with a wash pad and soap, and this is just going to help pick up any of those materials or contaminants that were broken down. Just ensures that we're picking up as much as we can and making the paint as smooth as possible. Does it feel any smoother than when you wash?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
It feels way smoother than the first time.
Yeah. So, and that's something you'll notice with the paint decontaminator, is that it's broken down some of the junk that's on the paint. And it's called Smooth Move because it smoothens out the paint.
Good one.
It's not going to remove any of the water spots or anything like that, obviously, but it's getting us back to a clean surface. And yeah, this thing's cooked, bro. If there was a torture test for ceramic coating, this is it, dude. It looks like a cheetah back here. Look at this. What the fuck? Should ask her if she wants to debadge her car.
Since you're a pro at it now.
Huh?
Since
I'm a pro at it. Yeah. I did a lot more yours was different because I've never applied debadging's fine. I've done plenty of debadging, but I've never reapplied badge. So the prep process is pretty much done. We're drying the car now. And then following this, you probably still want to go through with a leaf blower or some type of a blower, because just to get out all the cracks and whatnot, because if you're applying a coating and well, you're going to rinse it off anyway, probably after the compound, but you want to get any bit of water out, because if you're applying, like say you're mid-door applying a coating and then a little bit of water comes out of the door handle and you run the coating over that water, you're going to end up with a high spot like immediately. Water and ceramic coatings don't mix, at least initially. Dry too, I'll get the door jambs. Yeah, they're pretty dirty, but what, dirty? Oh, after washing, decon, everything, you can see how bad the paint is, and it wasn't like this a year ago. Far away, doesn't look bad, but on a normal ceramic coating maintenance, slick back is a the polish that I use for normal wear and tear type of situations, but this isn't quite normal, so we'll see what it does. But you'll use an orange pad with it. It's not as aggressive as what we're probably going to use, but take off a little section here. But this is just for kicks and giggles, like to see if the slick back's going to do anything. So when you are going to do any kind of a polishing or correction, every polisher is a little different, but started on the low speed, put contact on, and then you go, and then this is a trigger lock, so that locks the trigger so you don't have to hold it, and then you just up the speed. And I'm just seeing if this will do anything, but so, I mean, that actually cleaned
really
it up
did.
quite a bit.
Damn.
So, you can see that line right there is where I have the tape, just to show the difference between that uncared for and then just a light polish. So that was just with a minor or a non-aggressive polish. But so that's what we just polished, just using slick back primer polish. So the coating did a good job of protecting the clear, even though it was seriously neglected. And then this is where we haven't touched it. Polish on paint, don't squeeze the trigger or anything yet. Always make sure that this is at a lower speed, because otherwise you'll just fling shit everywhere. Squeeze the trigger all the way, and then push this button in, lock it in, and then go to like a 4, and then just kind of, and so this hand's mainly for control of just the polisher. This is going to be where you want your hand up here. And don't put too much pressure. Remember when I talked about like it bogging down and stuff?
Yeah.
The sound it's making now means it's running clean and fine. But if you start putting too much, hear how it bogs? Yeah. You don't want to do that. And you pretty much want to work it until it starts to go like super clear, so you still have some work time right now. But
I was gonna say, how do I know when I'm done?
yeah, so just a few passes until it's not so like this, and when it starts to get more clear like that, because classic cut's a diminishing compound, so you have to let it work through all the abrasives before you know if you get anything. So a lot of it cleared up, and there might be some haze or whatever, but that's when you come through with the second step, and that kind of finishes that out.
So many paint chips.
Yeah.
Jesus. Or a bunch of guys on TikTok, they took that and then they pressed it like dots around the hood.
Yeah,
is that a good thing to do? Or?
Yeah, you can do that too. That way you don't have this big glob. But I just wanted you to get a feel of like how the machine felt. But yeah, I mean, if I'm doing the front fender and like the door or something, then you can definitely just, because then that kind of just spreads your compound out more. and then you just start. But the one thing you want to be careful about is like body lines like this.
Yeah.
You don't want to like sit here or like this, because the paint's going to be a lot thinner on the body line than it is right here, so you can burn through that. So when I do it, you kind of just make sure you just keep moving, and if you're going to get like an edge like this,
just keep it moving.
Yeah, and don't just sit like that.
Yeah.
And then make sure the speed's where it needs to be. But just keep, like I say, keep in mind that when you can do the little dap thing, but when you push that trigger up, that thing's gonna go.
This trigger?
Yeah. So put the polish on the compound on the paint. Like
which section should I do? This section right here?
Yeah. So I break it up by body lines. So like this is a piece, right?
Yeah.
The whole fender. So
even down here too.
Yep. So then push that all the way up, it'll lock into place. And then you control the speed on the bottom. Down there.
What speed?
Probably like 3 or 4. Because you're compounding, keep in mind that you don't want to go too fast, because you want the compound to break down and get all that stuff out. If you're doing a finish polish, then you can kind of go faster. But if you're compounding, you want to allow the pad to do its thing.
Okay.
In the compound. So. And if you watch the way that the pad spins, so like right now it's spinning like it should, but some places, see how it kind of stalls up? You have to just keep an eye on for that too.
Why does it do that?
It's just not even against the paint, so you're hitting a weird body line or the backing plate is hitting a weird spot, so it's kind of stalling out. So be careful too when you take it off, and then if you take it off the paint before you turn it off, if there's any compound left on that, it's gonna, and I've done it a lot, it'll just go and cause a fucking mess. So what I've been doing is going through and compounding, because we do have to get this thing done within a reasonable amount of time. So I jumped in to start helping. Tanner has been going back there and doing the finishing polish. What we're using, Shine Supply Classic Finish Plus, and then an orange foam pad to finish on the Rupes machine. I've been going through with the smaller Rupes machine, the microfiber cutting pad, and Classic Cut from Shine Supply. It's actually cleaning up pretty well, surprisingly, given the condition that this paint was in. We're not going for perfection by any means, but a drastic improvement. So it's a daily driver, it's not a show car. We're not going for perfection by any means, but just going through and training, teaching, letting him get hands-on, familiar with the machine. So far he hasn't burned through any paint, or the machine hasn't gone flying out of his hands, so we're on a good foot. I retract my statement.
You jinxed it.
I guess. wrapping up day one.
Sir.
We did pretty much the whole correction and polish along with the wash and prep, except for the front bumper. Tanner saw a lot of things, wet sanding, how to get the wet sanding scratches out,
Pretty much everything.
hard water spotting. How you feeling?
More confident than I was before. That's for sure.
His back hurts.
Yeah.
He's probably a little tired. He got a feeling of what a day in the life of a full correction is. The big money job. So the next time we will finish the front bumper, maybe some little touch-ups here and there. We will rinse the car up, get all the polish, compound dusting off, and then we'll wipe it down to get ready for the coating, and then he'll see how to do the ceramic coating. So, good job.
Thanks, man.